From inside the gym at Leominster High School, we say a very good evening, everyone, and welcome to high school playoff basketball here on RFM. It's great to have you along with us. The postseason is upon us, and we've got play-in round action for you in boys basketball here on RFM tonight. Great to have you with us, whether you're joining us on YouTube, Facebook Live, or Twitch. It's great to have you live with us tonight as the 25th ranked Leominster Blue Devils make the top 32 but have to play their way into the round of 32 by playing host to Chicopee Comprehensive High School and their Colts, who were ranked number 40. Interesting coming into tonight, both teams a record of 10 wins and 10 losses. Who's 10-10 ultimately says more? That is the question we will endeavor to figure out over the next 24 minutes of basketball action. It's Chicopee Comp and Leominster in playoff basketball. The winner goes to the round of 32. They will get the 8th seed at home. They will have to play Wakefield on the road coming up this Friday, we believe, pending further information. With that, we welcome you to our courtside broadcast position alongside Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins, Todd Robbins for RFM tonight, and great to have you with us. We welcome our audience from Western Mass joining us here on RFM for the first time this evening, and we've got a dandy of a basketball game here. Two unknowns to one another. We'll endeavor to sort of set the scene between the two, and we said both 10-10 right off the bat. How did their seasons end, though? If you look at their last 5 games, Chicopee Comp wins 4 out of their last 5, including their last 3 in a row. Meanwhile, for Leominster, you look at their last 5 games, they lost 3 of their last 5 games, and they finished losing their last 2 in a row. One of them, of course, being in the opening round of the MIAA Tournament. That's the backdrop. Bill Thomas, here we go. Leominster and Chicopee Comp, statewide tournament year number 2 for the MIAA. But here's I think the key component when you look at this type of a matchup. Sure, they're unknowns to one another. Limited video you're able to see of one another. But at the end of the day, you got a game plan. You got to play as well as you possibly can on your sideline, and then worrying about scheming down against the opposition. And for Leominster right now, there have been plenty to worry about in their own side of the world without even looking at their opposition. Yeah, the Leominster boys have had their struggles down the stretch, Todd, for sure. And, that loss in the MIAA Tournament at home here was not a good loss. But, they've been struggling, and you only went back 5. Go back 2 more. They're only 2-5 in their last 7. So they I don't want to say they backed their way into the tournament, but they've struggled the last 2 weeks. As opposed, you mentioned Chicopee's coming in 4-1 in their last 5, winners of 3 in a row. So, it's nice to see a new opponent, and I'm really excited about what we're going to see on the court tonight. First opportunity for a play-in matchup between these two teams, and you can see Kate Robbins is trying to assist folks because, there's never anything going on here media. At the broadcast position. They know who to come to for the information, starting lineups. Indeed they do. Yeah. And but, go ahead, Bill Thomas. So, and I noticed, what I'm going to be interested tonight is how Chicopee's underclassmen, they're really led by 3 underclassmen as far as their top 3 scorers, a freshman, a sophomore, and a junior. So we'll have to see how they handle this playoff pressure tonight, being underclassmen and possibly untested, at this level. Indeed they are, and that is, of course, where we will see how those pieces come together. Kate, we get to welcome you into the broadcast as well, because media relations is a part of your responsibility here as well, as we welcome folks in. Kate, this is one of those evenings where, when you see these two schools come together for the first time, you're matching up against teams for the first time. You sort of start to try to fill in the gaps, figure out sort of what are the things you got to pay attention to. And I think for Leominster, the thing that they have struggled with that anybody can see is producing on the offensive end. They haven't scored enough points down the stretch. If you look at their whole season, they are a much more disappointed 10-10 than a Chicopee team who comes in here 10-10, winning their last 3 to make sure they qualified for the tournament.
And you're certainly right. We've talked about it time and time again with every single season. You want to be playing your best basketball going into this moment. And the statistics that you brought forth indicate that Chicopee Comp is on the upswing, and right now, Leominster right now seems to be kind of like in no rhythm at all. It's kind of like a heartbeat, up, down, up, down, up, down. We discussed it previously. I truly think the offensive production issues may be that they've either been playing up or been playing down to their competition. They haven't been playing their brand of basketball for a while.
And to your point, Kate, if you look at Leominster's record, you talk about up and down, a roller coaster, no more than 2-2,
yep.
Whether it's wins or losses, no consistency. Yep. I mean, you don't want to see consistency in losses, but they've gone 1 up, 1 down, 2 up, 2 down, back and forth, and unfortunately it's swung the other way as the seasons come to a conclusion here.
And Bill Thomas, you made mention to the young scoring contributions. Tinius McCluster, the junior, 288 points on the season, according to our friends at Mass Live. But Brody Fay, the freshman, 256 total points on the season.
Yeah, and that's what jumped out at me, the freshman.
Scoring.
And I wonder where his scoring's coming from. Unfortunately, they're all wearing warm-ups, and we haven't got numbers to match up the players during warm-ups. But we'll figure it out right quickly, and I'm sure it's not going to take the Blue Devils long to figure out who they have to defend.
Opening introductions, the national anthem, and then tip-off. It's playoff action here at the gym at Leominster High School as the 25th-ranked Blue Devils play host to the 40th-ranked Colts of Chicopee Comp. We've got the play-by-play for you, whether you're joining us on YouTube, Facebook Live, or Twitch. We're looking forward to this one. Winner gets the 8th seed Wakefield at 18-2 at their building on Friday night. Let's go with the opening introductions and our national anthem. Tip-off comes your way next here on RFM.
And a very good evening, fans, and welcome to the gym at Leominster High School for tonight's tournament action featuring the Colts of Chicopee Comp and your Leominster Blue Devils. Tonight's contest is sanctioned by Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association and the competing institutions. Fans, join us as we back the NFHS initiative to bench bad behavior by positively supporting the hard work of student athletes, coaches, and contest officials. Be loud, be proud, be positive. Thank you. It's time now to meet tonight's starting lineups, beginning with the visiting Colts of Chicopee Comprehensive High School. A junior, number 2, Caden Miller. A junior, number 3, Tinius McCluster. A freshman, number 12, Brody Fay. A sophomore, number 21, Justin Martinez. And a senior, number 23, Luke Thoreau. The Colts are coached by Gavin Miller, assisted by Jay Fay. And now it's time to meet the starting lineup for your Leominster Blue Devils. At guard, a junior, number 4, Terrence McCormick. At guard, a senior, number 11, Justin Donna. At guard, a senior, number 12, Michael Halstead. Forward, a senior, number 21, Ricky Encarnacio. And at the other forward, a senior, number 44, Chase Hans. The Blue Devils are coached by Kevin Marchfield in his 7th season, assisted by Justin Dada and John Cornell. Fans, we ask now that you please rise and remove your caps as we honor America and those defending our freedom with the singing of our national anthem, performed tonight by Hannah Hartman.
Nice job.
Once again, Hannah Hartman.
And with that, we're ready for basketball here inside the gym at Leominster High School. Tonight's contest is brought to you by the Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association, the MIAA, building the future through interscholastic athletics. Play-in action, a first time we will see that here in Leominster. It is their first experience being involved in a play-in contest in any sport, having to qualify. Remember, top 32 teams by power rating qualify for the tournament, and in every other sport other than football, which obviously basketball would qualify, any team with a 500 or better record qualify. But how do you get that down to a 32-team tournament? Simple. You go with the play-in round. So a very similar model to what you may be used to with the NCAA. Play-in action. It's 25 versus 40. Tip-off controlled by the Colts of Chicopee Comp. Comp controls half court to the left. They're wearing the royal blue tops, royal blue bottoms, trimmed in a yellow gold. They've got a Vegas gold panel on either side of the uniforms as well. The kickback for Miller fires up a three. That one won't go down. And now Leominster with the rebound in transition. This is Dada. Drop it off for Halstead as Leominster half court to the right. Wearing the home white tops, white bottoms, trimmed in royal blue, white, and black. Royal blue numerals, front and back. The numerals on the front, framed in by Blue Devils on the chest. The jumper won't go for three for McCormick, but the rebound, Hawes dribbles into position, gets the space, and the lay-in is good. And Leominster draws first blood 55 seconds into the opening quarter.
Nice job by Chase right there. I think it's going to be important. Control the boards.
Down floor, the Colts attempt to respond. Lost out of bounds off of Encarnacion. Colts will keep the basketball, but they move quickly in transition.
Yeah, and during warm-ups, Todd, I was watching. They're working on a lot of speed plays.
An immediate pick going the other way. It's McCormick. Dada ahead of the break. Bothered a little on the lay-in. Came up on the underside of the rim. And the rebound in transition for the junior Miller.
Yeah,
Miller has it taken away. Sorry,
yeah,
Bill
they're
Thomas.
They're going to run. That's all right, Todd. They're
and a tennis match ensues. Hawes will take it down the lane. Lay-in good, and it's 4-0 Leominster. Back in transition. This is Fay. Fay will bounce it back for McCluster. McCluster leading scorer on the team, as we said off the top of the broadcast, 288 points as recorded by Mass Live. This is Fay. Drops it off into the hands of Miller. Off balance jumper doesn't go from the left elbow, and the rebound down for Dada. Dada up floor, finds McCormick. And McCormick and Halstead play catch. Now McCormick gets a look. Left side, tries to bounce on the left-hand drive, ends up running over a defender in the midst of a giveaway. McCluster, though, finds nobody in transition, and the giveaway goes right back. Dada down low for Encarnacion. Up with it, will not go. And a tap for McCluster. Down floor, long pass finds Martinez. The lay-in goes, and the Colts are on the board. It's 4-2, and I can't help right off the bat say the following. It feels like an opening night given the distance between these two teams. As Dada pulls up a three, well short, they just feel both discombobulated.
And the pace is frantic without a lot of success up to this point either, Todd. But you're right, it feels frantic without any direction.
Fay with an up and down traveling violation, and the ball will go back to Leominster. 5:22 to play in the opening quarter. It's 4-2, and Kate, do you got your clicker out to keep track of turnovers tonight?
I do. Right now, Chicopee Comp with 4, Leominster with 1. Right now, as you talked about, messy basketball on both ends of the court. You can't say it's stifling defense on either end because there have been so many unforced errors.
McCormick, the driving kick. Hawes, the jumper, got taken off his feet. No call. Halstead, the rebound, and the putback will go. .455 to play in the opening quarter. 6-2 Leominster's advantage. Miller with the left-hand dribble, working the right side of the arc. Gave up the dribble early, tries to throw it in the lane for Fay. Can't make the connection, ball out of bounds. It's another turnover, and the ball back to Leominster, and that's enough for Coach Gavin Miller. Timeout on the floor. The Colts want to talk things over. 4:42 to play in the opening quarter. Leominster out to a 6-2 opening run, which sounds dominating, but it's been awfully messy.
Especially
Kate, 90 seconds.
With the turnovers, if we could convert, the Leominster could convert those into points, the lead could be a lot larger here. But off that turnover, you're right. I think Coach wants to regroup over there before this gets out of hand in the first quarter.
And you can't blame him, Kate, for trying to stem the tide here a little bit. There's only so much you can put up with where your team is either not able to produce in transition or not able to even get into their half-court set.
Yeah, it's been a difficult opening for both sides. I mean, as strange as it sounds, it's like you said, almost season opening jitters on either side.
Indeed.
For a team like Leominster, I feel like they're probably holding on a little bit tight because they had dropped so significantly in the statewide standings. So this is a must-win for Leominster. This is by no means a situation where they can look beyond any given team. For Chicopee Comp, this is, I think, excitement. This is playoff basketball, and they just have jitters. With Leominster, I just think they're coming out tight. They're holding on like white knuckle.
And maybe that's what's been going on over the last month. You've got to remember, if you had seen this Leominster team in the month of December, they won their opening 3 games of the season in intense fashion as McCormick launches up a 3 that will not go, and the rebound is corralled by Fay. And then Leominster goes into those holiday tournaments. It's a bumpy ride there, and they've sort of been discombobulated ever since.
Right now, Leominster struggling, particularly on the perimeter, not doing a lot in the paint either, and Chicopee Comp helping them out at every turn.
McCluster with the throwaway, but the whistle goes off with the ball not in possession, and the call is contact away from the basketball.
Yeah, I think, who'd they bill for that?
Looks like McCormick.
McCormick, yeah, I thought they were going to get Halstead for
his
a grab
first
there,
team
but
first.
McCormick.
Halfway through the opening quarter, 6-2, Leominster's advantage. This is Miller. Tries to drop it in the post for Martinez. It's tapped away. And here comes Halstead in transition for Leominster. Swings to Jaden Johnson. Johnson to Halstead. Halstead, the left baseline drive. Feed Encarnacion. Kick back McCormick. An open look at 3. Front rim, no. Haas creates the rebound. Feeds Johnson the drive. Whistle, and it's a traveling violation before the contact. A turnover, and the ball back to the Colts.
The difficulty here is that Leominster is trying to move that ball around. They're getting the open look at 3 consistently, and they're not hitting the 3 consistently. Becoming a problem along the perimeter.
Indeed, down floor, the connection. Little touch pass inside. Theroux found Martinez, but they couldn't convert the lay-in, and the foul on the subsequent rebounding action results in a turnover.
That's Martinez's team first for the Colts.
Here's Dada into the front court, drop it off for Jaden Johnson. And I got to say, second half of the year as Dada finds Haas for the reverse lay-in to go, and it's 8-2 Leominster.
Haas right now, team-high 6 points. Sorry, Todd.
No worries, Kate. For my money, completing that thought, Jaden Johnson got to have been the real highlight of the second half of the year for Leominster.
Yeah, and especially that game-saving or game-tying last-minute shot, last-second shot, but
down floor.
Chicopee a little out of sort here.
McCormick gives it up, and Johnson finishes at the rim.
That's like he heard you talking about it.
But he's actually earned his court time, and I'm sure he's done it in practice, which has got him on the court.
Here's the drive. McCluster, kick back, off the basketball. That was Theroux. Inside feed for Martinez. Loose ball to the floor. Halstead will come up with it.
Good hands
That's 8
right
turnovers.
there.
Not the way they were hoping to start as McCormick gets a look at 3 and delivers. And it is another timeout. No, now there's whistles. That's an inadvertent whistle.
Oh, more.
The officials thought there was a timeout taken in response to that made basket. There was not. So they will send the basketball right back into play, and Theroux can run the baseline. The inbound is for Miller, and here come the Colts trying to get something going on the offensive end of the floor.
I don't know if we have had as many inadvertent whistles in all of our years of broadcasting basketball combined.
And
That's
a response for a 3 from McCluster.
Only Chicopee Comp's second made basket from the field here with 2:09 remaining in the first.
Deflection into the corner. Dada with the entry for Hawes. Offensive foul. No basket. Take it down off the board. The freshman Brody Fay slipped in, blocked up the baseline, and Hawes took him out.
Yeah, Hawes turned right into him. Good job by Fay holding his ground.
Hawes' first, team second of the first half for the Blue Devils. 2:03 remaining in the first quarter.
13-5, Leominster on top of Chicopee Comp. Here comes McCluster. McCluster will drop this one off. Puts it in the hands of Chahoun, who just entered the basketball game. Gave up the dribble at the half circle. He'll drop it off for Theroux. Theroux in the triple threat position, guarded here by Dylan Carr. Theroux trying to find an entry pass, 12 to shoot, finds Chahoun open for the left side 3, will not go, and the rebound for Jaden Johnson.
Tell you, Todd, the basketball just seems to find Johnson when he's on the court.
Indeed,
Good things
does.
happen when he's out there.
Johnson to Carr to McCormick for 3, rims out, loose ball, rebound. Encarnacion, push shot, and around and down. There's a grab by Carr on the net. That is an offensive goaltend. And the turnover, no basket. Carr grabbed the netting while the ball was on the cylinder. It's a correct call by the official.
Yeah, they were right on it. No argument.
I don't know about
Coach
that. Bill
Crutchfield
Thomas.
not thrilled, I'll say, about the call, but it is a correct call. McCluster for June on the left side of the arc. 1:08 to play in the opening quarter. Near side drop McCluster. McCluster back, top of the key, right-hand dribble, right side of the lane, the drive, high off glass, and down it will go, 13-7.
Plus, I think taking things into his own hands right there.
McCormick with Dada the trail, 3 away, back rim no. Johnson runs down the rebound, finds Carr, now Dada, swing, McCormick queued up for 3 again, and he buries it.
So if Terrence is on, that just opens everything up.
We've talked about how important his performance is.
A deflection in transition. Johnson with the pick. Dada ahead to Carr. Bounce back Encarnacion. Through a double team, doesn't go. Dada then gets fouled. Going up for 2, and he'll go to the line to shoot.
Blue Devils dominating the offensive board.
They are. Right now they've got 5 offensive boards to none for Chicopee Comp.
Gaining that inside position on those misses.
That's
29 and 1/10 second left here in the opening quarter. 16-7, Leominster's advantage, and Dada's got his first at the line, and it will drop.
Martinez's second foul, team second as well.
Dada's second. Down that goes as well, and it's an 18-7 Leominster advantage. 30 seconds left in the quarter.
Interesting, coach leaving Martinez in with 2 fouls early on here.
Chahoun with the basketball, stands at the half circle across the timeline. 15 and counting. Shot clock off. Down to 10. Chahoun in trouble. Fires it back toward the arc. Pass is picked up by Martinez. Martinez to McCluster. 3 seconds in the quarter. McCluster's deep 3 doesn't go, and the ball will roll out of play at the 0-0. 1 quarter in the books here from the gym at Leominster High School. Playoff action statewide opens here with a play-in action. The 25th ranked Leominster Blue Devils on top of the 40th ranked Chicopee Comp through 1 quarter. It's Leominster 18 and Chicopee Comp 7.
Tell you, a couple unfortunate turnovers, and this lead could have been much bigger for the Blue Devils. Chicopee Comp's got to consider himself fortunate they're not looking at a 15 or more point deficit after this first quarter.
Kate, through 1 quarter, what do the numbers say on your sheet?
Right now, it's looking like for the Colts, they're looking Hernandez and McCluster, the only scorers for them. Already 9 turnovers for Chicopee Comp in that 1 quarter. As we said, Martinez right now has both fouls for the Colts. On Leominster's side of the ball, something that I very much like to see, 5 different Blue Devils already on the offensive stat sheet. Both Hawes and McCormick have a team high 6 points to their name. McCormick, both of his shots from the field that were made were from 3-point range. Right now, as Bill Thomas said, Leominster is dominating the offensive boards. 5 offensive boards, a total of 8 rebounds, 3 steals already, only 2 turnovers by the Blue Devils, and I'm very much enjoying in the last few defensive shifts for Leominster out there, stifling defense by the Blue Devils right now.
Interscholastic athletics teach many important lessons that extend beyond the sidelines. One such lesson is sportsmanship. Please help teach our students this important life lesson during and after contest by cheering and showing support for good play of both teams.
Dada.
This message brought to you by the Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association, building the future through the Interscholastic Athletics. Kate, yes, Dada with the finish, 20-7. 25 seconds into the second quarter. Chahoon's drive is stopped up by McCormick.
Again, the defense from the Blue Devils. That's what we want to see all night from them on the defensive end.
Encarnacion had his pocket picked, and out of play it goes. Great call by Encarnacion to know it got tipped away from him from behind, and nobody else touched it, so they let it go out of play, and Comp will have the basketball. Check that. Leominster will have the basketball. Thank you. Hawes drops it back to Dada. Corner, McCormick. 3. Back rim, no. Rebound brought down by Hawes.
Another offensive rebound.
You can see Leominster's confidence building with every single minute that passes.
Dada slash through the lane, and the lane is good.
His favorite spot, that left block. Scored the last 2 baskets in that area.
Minute gone by in the second quarter, 22-7. Leominster's lead, and then the immediate giveaway. Hawes gives it right back, launches that one into the student section.
Chicopee Comp continues to try to work that lob to work the low post. Leominster's defense all over that.
6:48 to play in the second quarter. And Comp with the inbound on the long end of the floor. McCluster finds some room, now to the lane, throws up one in traffic, does not go, and Encarnacion the rebound.
One and done again for Chicopee Comp.
Indeed. Dada and McCormick playing catch with the basketball. McCormick, kick back for Dada, waits at the half circle. Halstead, swing, find McCormick, right back to Halstead in the corner, 15 to shoot on the possession. Dada, back it straight away. To the foul line. Hawes, turn around with space. Jumper doesn't go. Encarnacion, rebound over Fay, and then a foul on the subsequent shot. Encarnacion's going to the line with 2 shots.
Ricky just fighting for that rebound, out muscling the defender there and putting it right back up, getting himself a couple from the line.
More importantly, that's Martinez's 3rd foul, team 3rd.
I'm surprised he hasn't taken a seat, already in the second quarter. Finished up that first quarter with 2.
And Encarnacion's first will roll over the front end.
Yeah, gonna have to make some changes here.
23-7, 6:11 to play in the second quarter.
Martinez on the bench at this point, Bill Thomas.
And with 3 fouls at 6:11 in the second quarter, you got to imagine he is out for the rest of the half and maybe a good chunk of the third quarter. McCluster off the miss on Encarnacion's second shot. Chahoon with the crossover. Screen from Fay. Back to the top, the catch and replace there as Hernandez takes over. Into the hands of McCluster. Back to Hernandez. The sophomore drives on Halstead. Double clutch. Halstead hangs on, and Hernandez will go to the line.
Good job roaming through the lane there. Hernandez just checked in, make something happen right away.
Halstead picks up his first, team 3rd of the first half for the Blue Devils.
Isaiah Hernandez at the line. Front end does not go.
Right now, Chicopee Comp, no points here in the second quarter yet with 5:45 remaining.
Per Mass Live, Hernandez, 72 points this season, 11 of them from the free throw line, make it 12 and 73. Here comes Halstead. Halstead drops it off. Finds Johnson. Johnson to Dada. The contested 3 from deep is delivered.
He could have got an and one on that, I think, right in his landing area.
Hernandez. Baseline find for Fay. Fay bullets it back to Hernandez after almost losing it out of play. Quick swing, McCluster. 3, thought he had it, didn't go. With a rebound, raced down by Chahoon. Feeds Fay on the block. It doesn't go, and Haws the rebound.
Chicopee with its first offensive rebound and able to cash it back in, though.
That's right, Bill Thomas.
And stuck at 8. Halstead's drive deflected out of play, and the basketball stays with Leominster. And Kate, Justin Dada off to a hot start, but these have been the kind of games throughout the year that he's performed well in. A night where maybe Leominster not having the best, as Dada gets the inbound, basket's good, and a foul.
Nice above the head, inbounds right there. Dada never brought it down, put it right back in, up off the glass, gets himself an N1.
The nights where Donna has struggled, it's been against the better teams on Leominster's schedule defensively, and they have basically neutralized him. And clearly, Chicopee did not see the same thing on the game film as Dada completes a 3-point play at 29-8, Leominster's advantage.
And I think you're not wrong. I mean, the obvious game plan is to try to neutralize the biggest threat, and that is Dada. Leominster's Achilles heel has been that when Dada's been doubled or when he's been neutralized in other ways, other members of the team have not been able to consistently fill in those gaps. If Dada's double teams, somebody else has to be available.
McCluster's drive missed everything. The rebound finds Fay, and Fay's shot is contested and fouled. And the freshman Fay will go to the line for 2 shots.
You know, and to expand your point, Kate, you're right. When Dada struggles, it seems like that second person can't find his way also, and that it kind of just fosters on itself. But, you know, when it becomes contagious, success becomes contagious. But when Dada's struggling, I think it puts more pressure on the other players, and it leads to more struggles.
First one falls for Fay and gets Comp on the board in the second quarter. Second one won't roll, and Carr taps for the rebound. 20-point advantage for Leominster at 29-9, 4:43 to play. Second quarter. The swing. McCormick, Johnson, Dada. Dada with the left-hand drive. Take it out of his hands by Fay. Out of play. Leominster will keep the basketball, 18 to shoot. Carr looking for an inbound spot. Now the bounce. McCormick, swing back out Dada. Head fake, foul line drive. Replaced McCormick. McCormick back for Johnson. Johnson to the left elbow, kick back. McCormick thought about the 3, double clutch. Instead fed Dada, who hits the 3 and gives a little look back to the Leominster student section.
I tell you, when he's hitting them from out there, there's no defender that's going to stop him. That just breeds confidence right through the rest of the team.
4:07 to play in the second quarter. It's 32-9. The jumper for Hernandez doesn't go. Carr, the uncontested rebound.
Nice job by Carr cutting off the lane right there, though. It created that bad shot, and then he ends up with the rebound. Nice job defensively by Carr.
Transition, McCormick. Now Encarnacion.
Oh,
Open to the rim, and Encarnacion wanted a foul. It's 34-9. Chances are those are going to come fewer and farther between. The feed does not go for Fay. Missed a second shot opportunity.
Johnson with a block.
And now Leominster in transition, and Coach Kevin Grutchfield says, let's slow these proceedings. 3:36 to play in the second quarter.
But all of a sudden opened up a huge lead here. 25, and I think Chicopee, have they scored in this
They
second
have
quarter?
2 foul shots.
2 foul shots. I didn't think they had anything from the floor.
They did not have anything from the floor. Did you say Coach Crutchfield took that timeout?
He did.
Yes, he did. I think he just wants to talk to the kids, harness some of that energy, and play good control basketball here to wind up this first half. You know, last thing you want to do is let Chicopee eat into this lead that they've done a good job building up here in the first part of the second quarter.
Hard work, dedication, and perseverance are instrumental in reaching success on the athletic field. Please help in supporting the efforts of all the athletes participating tonight. And remember that sportsmanship is something that should be practiced at all times. This message furnished by the Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association, building the future through interscholastic athletics. Here at the gym at Leominster High School, playoff action, 3:35 to play in the second quarter, and Leominster is out to the 34-9 lead in this play-in action as the 25th seed Blue Devils find themselves on top at home, 34-9 over the 40 seed Chicopee Comp. Out of the Blue Devil timeout. Johnson for Dada, the scoop, and the lay-in is good, 36-9.
What a nice quick first step he's got there, and then that underhand, the scoop shot, he's got that down to perfection, Todd and Kate.
13 second quarter points for Dada.
This is Hernandez. Hernandez with the left-hand drive, feed McCluster. McCluster the drive, kick corner, Gauthier, three away, and he delivers. 36-12, and that's what Chicopee Comp needs. They need some of their shooters to get hot and make opportunities count when they're available.
First basket from the field for the Colts in the second quarter.
Johnson, McCormick an open look at three. He responds.
Good ball movement right there, in and out, find that open shooter. Both McCormick and Dada heating it up.
McCormick right now, 9 points, all courtesy of the three.
Hernandez stands back at the half circle with the right-hand dribble, 2.5 to play. Second quarter, 39-12, Leominster's lead. The left-hand take, Hernandez, liberal use of his two steps. Ball kept alive by McCluster into the fifth row in a great hustle play.
Did he buy a ticket for that? See?
On
Could have had a hot dog while he was up there.
with the friends at the MIAA. Swing back around, it's Hernandez.
They don't take cash.
Indeed they do not, electronic tickets only. Right block, swim move on the lane, doesn't go, but right back inbounds. A great play made there by Scammon. And then McCluster finishes the lay-in.
They finally get it to cash in there. A couple of offensive rebounds. I think that's their first offensive putback score.
I would agree.
Dada, corner, McCormick, three. Line drive won't go, and Scammon's got the rebound. And then the rebounding action foul comes against Leominster.
You gotta get Johnson on that one.
1:41 to play in the second quarter, 39-14, Leominster's lead. Fouls at 4 aside, and Kate, just the first against Encarnacion?
So
No,
that's
that was
against
on
Johnson.
Johnson.
It's their fifth foul, 5 fouls to 4
To
fouls.
4 fouls, thank you, yes.
You're welcome.
There was a 0 showing on the
Yeah,
board.
there
It
was
has
wrong
been,
on the button.
it's been happening.
Okay. 96 seconds left before halftime. Coming up at the half, Kate Robbins got a complete recap of half number one statistically. Then we preview second half action and the road ahead for the winner in this one. 8 seed Wakefield waits at home. Halstead with the steal. Ahead of the break, Encarnacion. Space in the lane is good.
Nice job, good look-up pass. Ricky Phil in the lane.
McCluster, alley-oop for Fay, caught the rim. The ball comes long to Garrett Gauthier. Cues up McCluster again. 3 left corner doesn't go. Fay's rebound. Fouled by McCormick. And Brody Fay will go to the line shooting 2. 1:04 to play, second quarter. Leominster has inverted the Colts at 41-14. And Fay's first will fall. Fay, that second on the team, 256 points entering the night, had 41 points from the foul line entering the game. That's per our friends at Mass Live. Second one won't fall, but the rebound reeled in. Through the putback does not go. And it's Nico Nivard into the basketball game with the rebound. Under a minute to play before halftime. This is Dada with Halstead. Back and forth, they play catch, 45 seconds left, second quarter. Dada to McCormick, spinning basketball, but McCormick got the shot up. Nivard, touch, recue McCormick, and down it rattles for 3.
Accidental offense right there, but they'll take it. Found McCormick's hands in a shooter spot, shooter put it up.
Shot clock off, final 27 seconds of the first half. Tharud denies the basketball and then sends it back to McCluster. And McCluster puts the ball down on the deck and starts to signal play. He's working on Dada. Dada screened off the play. McCluster gets ahead of him, and the lay-in is good. Final 7 seconds before halftime. This is Dada down the lane, and he responds with a 2. And that is the way the first half will close. Play-in round, winner goes to the round of 32 to play the 8 seed and 18-2 Wakefield Warriors. 25 seed Leominster, 46, 40 seed Chicopee Comp, 17 at halftime.
Big lead, and Leominster never really took their foot off the gas there in that second quarter and really expanded it out to, what do we got, 29 points at the half.
I don't think I'll ever get used to a 25-40 matchup. I think we need to adopt the NCAA's method of 4 number 1s, 4 number 2s. In this case, it would be two 1s, 2 2s. That matchup sounds better in the grand scheme of things. Marketing, all about marketing.
Make a bunch of 1 to 8s.
That's right. Halftime here inside the gym at Leominster High School. It's Leominster 46 and Chicopee Comp 17. We step aside when we come back. Kate Robbins has your first half stats. We preview second half action and the road ahead here in the postseason. Halftime. 46-17, Leominster on top of Chicopee Comp. A break and we're back with more. This is playoff basketball right here on RFM. time here inside the gym at Leominster High School and back here on RFM. Great to have you along with us and bringing you this action for the communities all across the state of Massachusetts here on RFM. Todd Robbins with Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins. Whether you're joining us on YouTube, Facebook Live, or Twitch, thank you so very much for spending part of your night with us here, part of this postseason action. 25th ranked Leominster on top of 40th ranked Chicopee Comp, 46-17 in this playoff contest in the Division II boys basketball tournament. And Leominster right now having their way with Chicopee Comp to this point in the contest. But cautionary tale here, and this is probably in part, as I welcome back Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins to the broadcast, this is probably part of why I like the Leominster that we've seen come out of the locker room tonight, and I'll toss this to the two of you. The cautionary tale was Fitchburg, who was the 26th seed and played host to the 39 seed earlier in the week and lost on a final lay-in 58-57. You just can't chance that even though this team finished umpteen spots down the line from you, you cannot chance. They're 10-10, you're 10-10. It's even basketball, Bill Thomas.
I couldn't agree more, Todd. 10-10 is 10-10. I don't care who you built that record against. And at this time of the season, you throw everything out. And playing an unknown opponent, not somebody who's, on your regular rotation, or that you might have even played, in the last couple of years as part of an odd scheduling situation. I think the Blue Devils have done a great job. They grabbed control of the game in the second quarter, never let up. I'm going to be curious to see how they respond, though, coming out of the locker room here with this big lead. I hope the coach, I'm sure the coach is not going to let them get complacent here. And they want to win this second half. Never mind what the score is now. Come out like a 0-0, and now let's win the second half.
Let's look in a little deeper into this bracket and this part of the northwest portion of the bracket. And if you look at this pod is queued up by the 8-9. 8-seed Wakefield Memorial, 9-seed Foxborough. They are the two teams in the round of 32 that didn't have to play in. Leominster hosting Chicopee Comp. Winner gets 8-seed Wakefield Memorial. Norwood and Ludlow in a 24-41 matchup have to play their way into this one. And Norwood's got a great basketball tradition. They've had a good year, but not quite the year they had hoped to, and so the winner of that one gets 9-seed Foxborough. This is a closely contested group. With that 8-9, they've got some phenomenal records. 18-2, Foxborough 14-8. That's where these teams would have liked to have been. I'm sure if you said to Leominster, would you prefer to be 10-10 or 14-8, you'd take the 14-8 all day.
Yeah, and you're probably getting an extra day or two of rest, too.
Indeed, you are. Getting ready for second half action, and before the third quarter gets underway, Kate Robbins has your complete first half stats.
I don't know if they'll be complete, but right now Chicopee Comp has the 29-point deficit. They have team totals, 12 rebounds, no steals, 12 turnovers. They've shot 3 of 6 from the field. McCluster with 9 points, Hernandez with 3, Gauthier with 3, and Fay with 2 points in the half. Leominster 17 rebounds, 4 steals, 3 turnovers. They shot 4 of 5 from the free throw line right now. Justin Dada with a team high 17 points, 15 of them came in the second quarter. Terrence McCormick has 12 points, all of them coming courtesy of the 3. Michael Halstead right now with 2 points, Encarnacion with 5, Johnson with 2 points, Chase Hawes with 6 points. And once again, Leominster, what we like to see, multiple people contributing on that offensive stat sheet. 6 different Blue Devils right now contributing to make that 29-point lead. The Zebras were getting an extra bit of water.
Well, I think
indeed they were, and of course the
home?
team's hurrying up. No hurry.
Take a break, Kate.
Say hurry up and wait is where you're at right now.
I think Kate contacted him, said take a break.
They were probably locked out of their locker room.
That
or locked in.
I would say locked in, locked out. It's happened before, to say the least. Great to have you along with us here on RFM. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, and you. Great to have you along with us tonight. So many ways to be a part of the action here on RFM. Like, follow, and subscribe today. When the content goes live, it's the best way. It finds you. And right out of the halftime break, Ricky Encarnacion gets his jumping jacks in, and he pins in the Colts. They are not able to inbound the basketball. 5-second violation and a turnover without any time coming off the clock.
That was a long 5.
Indeed it was. Hawes straight to the
That
middle
was
of the lane and
strange.
bullets that one out of play. And teams exchange turnovers to open the second half.
That was an odd one, though.
Indeed it was. 5 seconds into the third quarter, 46-17. Still at our halftime score between these two.
Chicopee gets it in that time. Not wasting any time getting it up court.
And this is McCluster. McCluster with the dribble.
Chicopee Comp's coach has been in the ear of not one but two officials right out of the chute here to start things off.
Theroux tries the entry pass for
Be
Martinez, and
He's
Encarnacion
gonna get teed up.
has a technical
Yeah,
foul.
Be careful over there, Ricky.
Spiked the basketball right in front of the official, who is not familiar to those of us from around here, so have to presume from another part of the state.
So we have a little bit of a problem with the board. It just went to 7 fouls on the board, but clearly
Should
not.
be zeros.
Yeah,
We
as I
should
say,
have
be
zeros. But that's going to be Ricky's. It should be Ricky's second. Now it's saying it's his third. So we have some major foul issues right now at the official table.
And McCluster will have the technical free throws. That one's a hard in and out. 7:36 to play. That part, the board is correct here in the third. McCluster hits the second of the technical free throws. 2 shots plus the ball. And Encarnacion, with the undisciplined spike of the basketball, is going to take a seat.
They've zeroed out the fouls, so it should now be 1.
So does the technical count against the team fouls?
It does.
It does.
It is a personal foul. Encarnacion's number now shows 4. There was no foul before the tech, or excuse me, there was. Let me correct that, as the shot is wild and off balance. Theroux the rebound, hook shot doesn't go, deflection to the baseline, caught, and then feeds back up to the
But
top.
he only had 1 beforehand. It should be 3.
McCluster's shot is offline, and a loose ball to Fay, and Fay will hit the shot from the middle of the lane.
Very chaotic sequence right there, but
Indeed it was. Looks shades of the first quarter.
yeah.
One-
Still don't have the fouls correct. Oh, they just
Now
put
he's
one
got him
up
up
there.
to 5.
Yeah, so they're still
got
working
5.
on that. Encarnacion should have 3.
3.
At 1 coming in, you get the personal foul that was blown beforehand. That's the correction. And then the technical foul is another foul charged against him.
Dada just
So
missed
2
a shot.
on 1 play. Indeed he did. Leominster still stuck at their halftime score, 46-20.
Ricky's back down to 2 now. I'll watch that with Hawkeyes.
Conversation continues. Theroux for Miller. Miller dribbles back top of the key for McCluster. McCluster left-hand drive, taken away by Dada out of play.
Nice job by Dada, following him all around the lane right there. Timed his jump perfectly.
And let's make absolutely clear, despite the halftime score, if Leominster could produce 46 in the first half, Chicopee Comp could certainly produce that very same number in the second half. So these types of undisciplined situations and throwing the ball away, this game is by no means over as McCluster goes down the lane, throws up a wild shot that goes, plus a foul.
You know, for sure. And I'm sure the coaches on the bench over there are thinking we can't let this get out of hand, even though we have a large lead here. We want to win the second half and make a statement.
And the conversations continue over at the official table as they're trying to get the numbers correct, and they still have not. McCluster completes the three-point play. It's 46-23. Feed down the lane. Back for Johnson. For Dada. Baseline deflection. Finds Theroux.
Things are getting a little messy again.
Indeed they are. And this is sort of what we saw with
This is-
Leominster the last few games of the
If
season.
you're the Leominster coaching staff or even the players, you probably didn't want to have to deal with having a halftime.
And McCluster's shot doesn't go, and Carr the rebound. Kate, you're absolutely right. The breaks have not been to their benefit as McCormick drives down the lane, gets the benefit of a foul call, and 2 shots coming up.
Leominster still stuck on 46.
McCluster picks up his first, team second. And now the board is correct with the number of fouls. Terrence McCormick at the line. He misses his first. They do have Leominster in the bonus on the board. That's still wrong.
And of course, the board is something you keep close eye on because it's the only indication of official numbers you have.
Yep.
As McCormick gets that one to drop, 47-23.
My numbers are not official.
But they're good.
But here on RFM, they are accurate. Here's the drive, kick back through the middle. Dada the deny on Martinez. And the ball out of play. It caught a piece of Martinez going to the baseline.
The clock had never started on that opening sequence, so the ball was out of bounds and the clock had started on the board.
Technical difficulties over at the official table. The right wing jumper does not go for Carr. And here comes McCluster. Throws on the brakes, kick back, find Theroux. Theroux for Miller. Left side drive. Out of bounds. And the ball to Leominster.
Stepped on the baseline. Good job defensively by the Blue Devils, not giving them that lane.
5:14 to play, third quarter, 47-25. Leominster's advantage. The corner. This is Halstead with Johnson. Johnson finds McCormick. Gets to the spot. Left side three. Hard rattle out. Miller tapped the rebound, but Carr kept it alive. Carr for Halstead. Denied by McCluster. And then out of bounds, and they say Leominster had the last touch on the basketball.
Somehow off of Halstead, but he doesn't agree.
And Coach Kevin Crutchfield lets the official know about it. If you swatted the basketball away and it goes out of bounds directly and it doesn't touch anybody, it's off the defense. The roll from McCluster will go. It's a 4-point swing. Still a 20-point basketball game at 47-27.
McCluster has 6 third quarter points.
That is 3, doesn't go, and the loose ball run down by Fay. Here's the swing.
Leominster has no points from the field in the third quarter.
McCluster's jumper doesn't go, and the rebound, Dada kept it alive. Theroux missed. Third opportunity, doesn't go for Fay. An open possession for the Colts. Johnson, drive, kick, spinning basketball, settled by Carr, and the lay-in's good, and there's one from the field.
Nice give and go right there.
Down floor, it's the jumper for Miller with the immediate response. Still at a 20-point game.
His first points of the game.
The drive, McCormick through traffic, and a soft touch that will go.
Nice little Euro step. Found a lane. Oh, what a bounce pass.
Great pass from McCluster, but Fay couldn't complete the play at the rim. It's Dada for Johnson. Feeds McCormick. Jump stop in the lane. Shot doesn't go. Carr the rebound. Leominster still with the ball. Halstead to Dada to Johnson. Little fake. Drive. Left block. Foul. And Johnson's going to the line for 2.
Good job. I love to see the Blue Devils continue to attack the basket here. Don't settle for those 3-pointers. Make the defense work.
3.5 minutes to play. Third quarter. 51-29. Leominster's advantage. And Jaden Johnson, the sophomore, is at the line. That one will not fall for Johnson. Former Leominster High School principal, now representative of the MIAA, Dr. Steve Dubzinski, walks by Coach Kevin Crutchfield in a position that he used to occupy at one point in his career as head coach here in Leominster. Down floor, the find, and Fay ran out of real estate before he grabbed the basketball.
Trying to go quick there. A little too quick.
I thought he was at Alpine skiing.
He was. I mean, clearly you could see he's wearing the heavy vest. Clearly must have left a few of the layers in the car. Whistles and a timeout. Coach Kevin Crutchfield would like to talk some things over. 3:26 to play in the third. It's Leominster 52, Chicopee Comp 29. Winner of this one advances to play the 8th seed, and that is Wakefield Memorial of the Middlesex League in Eastern Mass. That game will be played at the Fieldhouse at Wakefield Memorial on what we believe will be Friday, but that date and time is to be announced. Broadcast plans for that round of 32 contest also to be determined. We'll have that information for you on Twitter. Give us a follow at MIAA Rivalry. Leominster's other basketball team, the girls, they will get their 2023 basketball tournament started tomorrow when they go on the road as the 19 seed playing Whitman-Hanson, the 14 seed. Hoped to have that action for you here on RFM. Unfortunately, not able to work out a deal for that one. Therefore, that action will be available on other outlets. You can find them out there somewhere on social media. 52-29, Leominster on top of Chicopee Comp.
I think I owe Billy $1.
I didn't think we'd get the post game before that came up.
Perhaps you could call and get it on your local pay-per-view.
Yeah, if you want to pay for it.
That action is available out there.
Billy, I think I owe you $1. Or maybe 10. Is it 10? Do I owe you $10?
Fine. $1 fine.
We didn't have that in the pre-show meeting. I'll pay the $1. Here we go. Dada. Foul line find Carr. McCormick 3, and he delivers.
He's feeling it tonight, friends.
55-29. Down floor, it's Fay. Shot is off the mark, and Carr the rebound. But McCormick took an elbow in the middle of the breastbone.
From his own
From
teammate.
his own player on the
self-inflicted.
Those are the worst injuries.
Indeed.
Like, buddy, we're friends. Friendly fire.
3 to play in the third. And McCormick back-to-back three-pointers. 58-29. 2:45 to play here in the third. And McCluster fast into the front court. But Coach Gavin Miller takes the timeout. 2:43 to play in the third quarter. Leominster 58 and Chicopee Comp 29. And I'll say simply here,
29.
seeing what Leominster is doing out here tonight, we've seen this version of the Blue Devils throughout the year. The problem is it hasn't consistently shown up. So the hard part, when you're covering the team consistently or when you're over on that bench as the coaching staff, I know what the coaches are saying. Where's this team been? Like, it's great. You put up 58 points by this point in the third quarter, 2:43 to play in a playoff game, but you're in a play-in game at home because you didn't do this and play to your capability throughout the year.
Well, I think a night in and night out, the supporting cast wasn't there every night. There was maybe one player who would have a night, but then, the other 4, 5, 6 players kind of disappear for the night. And, that's where the consistency comes from. And I think we see Dada and McCormick feeding off each other from outside. And, the offensive rebound underneath from Haas and Carr really led the way. Halstead, all of them underneath, really doing the dirty work. But it's really the outside shooting, McCormick and Justin, that have really opened things up.
Out of the timeout. This is Theroux with the basketball in the triple threat position. He chooses pass. He'll get it right back from Gauthier. Now Theroux, drive on Hawes. Tough shot, doesn't go. Hawes the rebound. And here comes Dada into the front court from right to left. Hernandez will wait at the table for the next stoppage. It's McCormick. Back for Carr. Swing for Hawes. Bounce entry for Dada, and Dada is taken down.
How is there no whistle?
Injury behind the play. The defender, Luke Theroux, got taken down. Somebody somewhere did something. And the officials have to blow the play dead.
Both coaches are irate right now.
And ended up costing Chicopee a basket down the other end, too. They had a fast break, so.
With good reason. Now, meanwhile, Coach Crutchfield saying, my guy got tackled. Meanwhile, Coach Miller is saying, my guy got elbowed and is the one injured on the play. This is one that if a monitor exists like you'd see in the NC2A, they would go to the monitor to figure out who did what.
First.
Doesn't exist in high school basketball here in Massachusetts, or in many places for that matter.
That looked like an open field tackle.
It did, and it trailed the play.
Like it too.
It's a very odd exchange. Down floor.
For a basketball game.
Yeah, I was going to say, in the lane, the jumper does not go. The wrestling state tournament was last week, so I know that's over. As in transition, this is Dada. Gets the right-hand shot up, foul on McCluster, who gives the what the to the officials, and the official says you're using the forearm on the body and you're warding off. So Dada will go to the line to shoot 2. 1:41 to play in the third, 58-29. And Dada hits that one.
First points for Justin in the third quarter. And he hits the second.
Indeed he does, 60-29.
And he steals.
I was going to say, talk about a response. Here comes Dada. Drop it off. Hawes tried a quick touch pass. Something a little fancy to Carr. Miss, but the immediate response. Everybody bids for it, and the officials say, comp basketball.
This is getting just messy. It's just messy.
Indeed. I know our friend from the Worcester Telegram and Gazette, Tom Flanagan, out there on Twitter, certainly not thrilled with this postseason format, and games like this certainly plead his case. The drive down the lane, the off-balance shot does not go for Scammon, and the rebound comes out in transition. Dada for Hawes, right back to Dada. $1:10 left here, third quarter. Johnson for Dada. Crossover into the lane. Dada creates a little space. Jumper up and down it goes. Under a minute here in the third.
It almost looks like he could do that anytime he wants, Todd and Kate.
And a giveaway by McCluster. Dada on the break. And the lay-in good. 64-29.
Shielding the defender away from the ball.
Here comes the response down floor for Hernandez. Off-balance shot as he goes coast to coast.
Gets no call.
And now the other way come the Blue Devils. McCormick's three. He delivers. And Dada has put it on the board. 67-29.
That's number 7 for Terrence.
Drive down the lane. Hook shot. Carr with the body. Basket's good. And a shot coming up for Gauthier. 20 and 1/10 left in the third. 67-31. Pending the and one. Theroux waits at the table. Come in on a make for the shooter, and that one will fall. 3-point play complete for Gauthier, and Luke Theroux, the senior, checks back into the basketball game. Interscholastic athletics teach many important lessons that extend beyond the sidelines. One such lesson is sportsmanship. Please help teach our students this important life lesson during this and every contest by cheering and showing support for good plays by both teams. This message furnished by the Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association, building the future through interscholastic athletics. As Johnson's miss, caught out of the air by Hawes. Basket is good at the third quarter buzzer.
Another offensive rebound.
And through 3 in a play-in contest here at the gym at Leominster High School. It's the 25th ranked Blue Devils 69 and the 40th ranked Colts of Chicopee Comp 32. The all-important fourth and final quarter as we continue here on postseason action here on RFM. But first, through 3, Kate, third quarter statistics.
Third quarter statistics, let's take a look at the Blue Devils right now. Terrence McCormick, a team-high 24 points through 3 quarters, but hot on his heels, Justin Dada with 23 points of his own. We still have 6 different Blue Devils on the offensive stat sheet. Halstead right now with 2 points, actually 7 Blue Devils on the stat sheet. Encarnacion with 5 points, Johnson with 3, Carr with 2, Hawes with 8 points. Right now the lead continues to widen in favor of the Blue Devils. On the other side of the ball, the only one making significant contributions to the offensive stat sheet is McCluster. He has a team high 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 points.
And Leominster with the basketball to begin the fourth quarter. This is Johnson. Johnson with the left-hand spin. Find Dada. Dada to Hawes at the left elbow. Right back Johnson. Quick touch McCormick. McCormick back to Johnson. Open look at 3. He hits.
Tell you, it's contagious, Todd and Kate. Confidence reigns supreme. Oh, nice strip right there by Hawes.
Dada down floor. McCormick, and the lay-in is good.
Nice fast break off of that steal.
7:25 to play in the fourth quarter. Leominster is over the 70 mark at 74-32. Down floor. Hawes will drop it off for McCormick. 7:10 to play here in the final quarter of this play-in contest. The jumper Johnson, 3 is long, it will not go. Here we go in transition. Hernandez shot doesn't go. Dada the rebound.
Good job by McCormick stopping that drive.
Fans out on social media, out there on Facebook. My favorite post thus far is T is fire as Dada delivers a 3. 77-32, of course referring to Terrence McCormick from Amy Lynn. And thus far, Terrence McCormick has been fire.
When you have 7 threes.
Dada right there with him. And half-court offense set up by the Colts, and it's a timeout on the floor. 6:26 to play in the fourth quarter. Leominster 77. And Chicopee Comp 32. And
continue to build the lead, too, after that struggle there in the third quarter. Looked like Chicopee was going to cut into it.
Katie Jane out there on social media says this is a crazy score for a playoff game, and her point is one worth talking about. 77-32 in a playoff game. Remember, top 32 teams make this tournament by power rating. Anybody beyond 32 has got to be 500 or better. The kicker in this contest, 25 and 40, 15 spots differentiate. Both teams were 10 and 10.
Well, and that has to, it's the schedule. The power of opponents and margin of victories. A lot of it plays into that, but it does seem like a mismatch here tonight.
The paperwork won't show it, but that is what you will see here. But you do raise a good point there, Bill Thomas. Something I'm going to look into while we continue action here.
Oh, good.
Because why not?
I raised a point.
You did. It's been known to happen. Out of the timeout, we are back to action here, and a over the back violation comes in.
Bill Thomas, I'm going to upset Todd Robbins. We have some new numbers in for Chicopee Comp. We've got a 30. We don't have a 30 on the roster, however.
Well, unfortunately, on the roster provided, this is what we've got to work with. Jack Donna back in the basketball game. He will feed Johnson.
We also have a 24 on the court that we don't have on the roster.
Got to assume here Coach Miller has gone down the line to get some playoff experience for some future young players in his program. So to Bill Thomas's point a little bit ago, talking about the algorithm, of course, Leominster 10 and 10. Their average margin of victory was 1.6. Their opponent rating was 4.8854 for a combined power rating of 6.49. Meanwhile, the 10 and 10 here for Chicopee Comp as the drive and foul is committed. Chicopee Comp, which according to this published item, they actually were power rating number 47, but there were teams in front of them that didn't make the 500 threshold, so they moved all the way up to the 40th spot. Chicopee Comp, their average margin of victory for their 10 and 10 record was a negative 0.40. Their opponent rating was 1.61 for a combined power rating of 1.21.
Haas misses the first.
But at 47, they would have been out of this top 32, but they made it with a 10 and 10 record. That is the caveat in all sports except football.
He misses the second rebound down for Nevard, but quickly given up.
And a great steal by one of these players new into the basketball game who, unfortunately, we can't identify.
To expand your point, on the other side, Fitchburg got upset by a 39, Todd, so you never know.
They did.
You never know how the math's going to work out.
We only have 2 in the numbers of the Colts on the court, just so we know.
We're doing the best we can.
Just a heads up.
Theroux is out on the floor. The senior. McCormick gets a look at 3. Front rim, no, and the rebound is run down by Theroux.
The cheering was for the Leominster second teamers are going to be coming in here on the next whistle.
It looks like a full line change coming in here for Leominster.
Can't change them on the fly?
Indeed, they cannot. Could spend a timeout, one of the 3 they have remaining. 4:42 to play in the fourth. Jumper will not go for Ramos Gomez. And Jack Dada's got the basketball off the rebound. 4.5 to play in the fourth quarter of this play-in game. 77-32. Nivard slips a defender in the lane, goes for the senior center, Nico Nivard. And Bill Thomas, he's been here all year long. He fought through some injury. He's had spot duty at best throughout the year, and he's on the floor and makes a basket tonight.
Yeah, and he's made an impact in the first half. He came in, got a rebound right away. So, you know, he's not just out there taking up space.
And now he's got a
Picks
steal.
that up.
They're going to take the timeout.
And now Coach Crutchfield spends the timeout at the 4:01 mark of this fourth quarter, 79-32.
One of the nice things that I just saw in that last
Go ahead, Kate.
last few possessions, Leominster's starters being the loudest cheerleaders on the bench for the second teamers coming in that had come in previously, and I know they'll continue to be the loudest supporters of the second teamers coming in right now.
Yeah, and I think if you saw a little notion there, Coach Crutchfield over to the Chicopee bench, he called that timeout to get his starters off the floor. A nice gesture right there.
Indeed, that's sportsmanship. This is Reed Richard, feeds Osiris Lopez, missed the shot. Now Nico Nivard's shot will not go, but Nivard the rebound. To the floor, Nivard comes up with the basketball. He'll feed Richard. Loose ball to the floor, Nivard for Richard. And out with the basketball comes one of the players from Chicopee Comp. Again, I feel terrible about, but it's what I've got to work with.
If their grandmother's watching, we apologize.
We do apologize. The drive down the lane, the double clutch, the foul. 2 shots coming up.
For number 30.
Indeed. I want to expand a little more on another one of your Bill Thomas points, because we talked about that Fitchburg-Nauset game, that 26-39 matchup. Nauset actually in the power ratings finished at 45 with a 12-8 record. And so they rose up, but their power rating, again, only good enough to be 45th in the state, a 2.4 average margin of victory, an opponent rating of negative 0.34 rounded, for an average rating for their power rating to be 45th in the state, 2.061. That was
basically based on their margin of victories. They got nothing from
up.
their opponents.
Correct. And that's how these numbers go. The debate continues as to whether the formula is the best it can be, as Nivard finds Reed Richard. The sophomore makes the basket. He's been a swing player between JV and varsity, and now he's got his first varsity points of the season. And just a timeout taken on the floor by Coach Miller.
We got a turnover here.
No. The signal from Miller was he's making a substitution.
Oh, is that what that is?
That's all it was. He took the timeout with the ball to make a substitution, wanted to get a player into the game.
Very well.
So
they don't want to take any time to set something up?
Nope. They're just, that's all they're doing. It's just a timeout to whistle the play dead and get a player into the basketball game. 2:52 to play in the fourth.
That rotating arm
Clearly
motion.
Todd has.
Comes from the soccer world.
I'm sure.
Substitution in and out.
We're just neophytes, Billy.
Not at all. But I'm not going to get called wrong in a situation where
I call you wrong every day.
I was going to say, but that's part of marriage. Basketball in possession here of Kenny Waring. The drop off for Ramos Gomez. And the shot will not go, and the rebound down in the hands of Reese Laura. And some of these numbers are some players that will be contributing for Leominster next year. That was Caden Drinkwater's 3 attempt that didn't go. And the ball down in the hands of Colin Scammon. Scammon takes a 3, doesn't go, and Nivard's got the rebound. And now whistles and a foul on the rebounding action. It will be billed against Alvin Ramos Gomez.
Side out, that's the 6th foul. One more, and it'll be shooting. Leominster will be.
The feed down low, it's Reese.
Good look.
Will go, and a great find from Drinkwater. Leominster, 50-point advantage at 83-33. 1:50 to play in the fourth quarter. Shot will be off the mark. Lopez looks up floor for Richard. Deflection to Drinkwater. Drinkwater feeds Lopez, and the lay-in goes.
That's
not
opposite.
often the way that you see that go.
Usually it's Lopez to
Drinkwater.
Football reference.
Indeed. Here's the drive down the lane, the push shot, whistle, and a foul. Basket is good for Kenny Waring.
Those that don't know, Lopez, quarterback on the varsity football team, and Drinkwater, wide receiver, both
Clock's
freshmen.
still running. Clock's still running.
Two freshman phenoms, and yeah, the clock is running.
I'm gonna
Now
start,
has
I'm
come
gonna
to a
start our
start.
clock.
1:16 to play here in the fourth quarter. And that one will not go. With the win, Leominster will play Wakefield, and that game time and date has been announced by the MIAA. It will be March 3rd, a 7 p.m. tip-off on Friday night at the Fieldhouse at Wakefield Memorial. The drive taken away by Lopez on Chun.
Big block right there by Cyrus.
56 7/10 left in the fourth quarter. Chun will have the inbound. He will bounce it in play in the hands of Colin Scammon. Scammon with the bounce for Chun. 20 to shoot, 30-second differential shot clock and game clock.
Just don't foul.
Correct. Waring cycles the basketball over, finds the hands of Ramos Gomez. Entry pass deflected by Lopez, taken right back by Theroux, and he missed the open lay-in. Now in transition, there's Lopez to Drinkwater. Basket good and a foul. Great to see both young teams getting to go up and down the floor against each other and get this varsity experience for both sides.
Yeah, I think it's great exposure for, like you say, both teams. Get some of those underclassmen out there and get them some of this tournament playoff experience.
Drinkwater can't get the free throw to go, and nobody moved, but it was just a one-shot foul. It was a made basket.
Yeah. Everybody's standing around waiting for a second shot. Chicopee just dribbling it out.
Indeed.
Take a last shot here probably.
Final 15 seconds here in this one. Couple jab steps for Waring, back for Theroux. Theroux for Chahun. Shot does not go. Reed Richard the rebound. And Richards will dribble it out for Leominster, who has themselves a playoff victory. Leominster wins the play-in contest here at home as the 25th seed over the 40 seed Chicopee Comp, 87-35. Leominster's record improves to 11-10. Chicopee Comp falls to 10-11 and ends their season. But there is definitely some signs. Despite the scores disparity, you can see on that Chicopee Comp bench, Coach Gavin Miller's got some parts and some young players to be able to build on.
Yeah, he does. And, you know, we talked about it pregame, his three top scorers, all underclassmen, and they definitely have a bright future.
Indeed, they do. Meanwhile, for Leominster, the future continues on Friday night. It is a 7 o'clock tip-off awaiting them at the Fieldhouse at Wakefield Memorial, as 8-seed Wakefield will host 25-seed Leominster in the round of 32. We've got so much more to come. Coach Kevin Grutchfield joins us at our courtside broadcast position coming up. Kate's got her complete recap of stats and more. Stick and stay with us, whether you're joining us on YouTube, Facebook Live, or Twitch. Just because the game action ends, the action doesn't end here.
I was going to say, doesn't mean we get to go.
RFM. Action continues more in a moment. Post-game comes your way next, right here on RFM. This is championship basketball, right here on RFM. Stay with us. Action continues here on RFM. 87-35, Leominster a winner over Chicopee Comp in the play-in round of the MIAA's Division II boys basketball tournament here in 2023. A decisive victory for the Blue Devils. That's the good news. And then it's into the round of 32, which is where their power rating had earned them that 25 seed, and 25 will play 8. The 18-2 Warriors of Wakefield Memorial. That is what awaits Leominster in the coming days. Welcome to our courtside broadcast position here post-game. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas over our shoulder, Kate Robbins sitting right here next to me, and thank you so much for spending part of your night with us as Leominster picks up the win and advances. And of course, that's the name of the game at this time of the year. Win, survive, advance, move on, and forget about this one as soon as you possibly can.
Win and you're in.
And that's it. And they are indeed. Action continues for them here on the MIAA postseason tournament. Kate, while we wait for Coach Kevin Grutchfield to join us here at our courtside broadcast position, how about the complete stat recap of this?
All right, let's first start with the Chicopee Comp Colts. Team totals 22 rebounds, 1 steal, 22 turnovers. They shot 7 of 13 from the line. That's 54%. Individual contributions, Miller ends his night with 2, McCluster with 15, Hernandez with 3, Gauthier with 6, Fay with 4, and the second teamers with 3 points. Now for the Leominster Blue Devils side of the ball, team totals first, 38 rebounds, 7 steals, 11 turnovers. They shot 8 of 14 from the line. That's 57%. Again, they come away with the 87-35 victory. Individual notable statistics for the Blue Devils, a plethora of Blue Devils on the offensive stat sheet. Richards ends his night with 2 points. McCormick ends his night tied for a team high 26 points. He was 1 of 2 from the line. Lopez ends his night with 2 points. Justin Dada also tied for team high 26 points. Dada 5 of 5 from the line tonight. He was absolutely tremendous from the line. Halstead ends his night with 2, and Carnacion ends his night with 5. He was 1 of 2 from the line. Johnson ends his night with 6 points, also 1 of 2 from the line. Laura ends his night with 2. Carr ends his night with 2. Drinkwater ends his night with 2. Haas ends his night with 8. And Nevard ends his night with 2 points as well. So an 87-35 victory for your 25 seed Leominster Blue Devils. They are going to go on to play number 8, I believe you said Wakefield, coming up later on in the week. So a commanding victory for Leominster, but it's 25 versus 40 for a play-in game to get into the playoffs in earnest. So that's what we're dealing with right there.
To get your 25 back.
To get your 25 back.
You got to almost win your 25 seed back.
You win your 25 seed back.
That's a tough situation, to say the least. The one note that I would make, Kate, as I look over your shoulder and I look down the list, I believe every Leominster player that went into the game other than Jack Dada scored. And Dada, of course, at this point is really known for running the point and distributing the basketball. But in the years ahead, he is going to be looked at to be a scorer.
But as you said,
team.
every single Blue Devil that got in the game other than Jack Dada, who was running point for the majority of the fourth quarter, found their way onto the offensive stat sheet, which is pretty impressive. I'm going to count it out. That's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 Blue Devils make it onto the offensive stat sheet for the evening. Absolutely tremendous work to distribute the points amongst all of your friends.
And we've talked about Leominster's offensive struggle to Bill Thomas, and I mean, they've been anemic at times. The fact that they were able to produce 87 points here tonight in a contest that perhaps was a bit on the lopsided, the fact that they were able to produce 87 points, get 12 different scorers involved, that's something that Coach Crutchfield can build off of.
Yeah, and I think the shooting became contagious tonight. Confidence is a big thing at this level, and you know, you hit a couple, you watch a teammate hit a couple, you both hit a couple, and now you're feeling good about each other. You know, you're not pressing because you're missing, and now, you know, your teammate is hitting them. Now you feel you got to take the pressure off. When both of your top outside shooters are hitting them, it just loosens the entire game up.
Indeed it does.
And I think it shows on the score sheet.
87-35, Leominster a winner over Chicopee Comp. I see Coach Kevin Grutchfield making his way this way, but this is an opportunity for us to reminds you that hard work, dedication, and perseverance are instrumental in reaching success on the athletic field. Please help in supporting the efforts of all the athletes participating in tonight's contest, and remember that sportsmanship is something that should be practiced at all times. This message furnished by the Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association, building the future through interscholastic athletics. Kate Robbins, thank you so very much for being with us tonight here inside the gym at Leominster High School, and Kate will be back with us hopefully later in the week as the season continues here on RFM. Kate is off to go get Patrick, and that means we continue here on RFM. Bill Thomas getting Coach Kevin Crutchfield set up, and Leominster an 87-35 win in action tonight. Let's take a look at their future, the road ahead for Leominster. This bracket has not been updated since its release. We will have an up-to-date version forthcoming. But again, you look at that northwest section of the bracket, and in that pod that is in the second tier, the 8-9 seed, Wakefield Memorial and Foxborough, they are sort of the two seeds that are hanging in there. Foxborough gets the winner of Norwood and Ludlow in the 24-41 game, and then Wakefield gets the winner of Leominster and Chicopee Comp, and Leominster will move on in that one. And of course, the teams up here in this northwest region of the bracket, the number one overall seed in Division II, also in this region, and that is Malden Catholic. Leominster head coach Kevin Crutchfield joins me here at our courtside broadcast position. And coach, 87-35, you got to win. Offense has been your struggle, and tonight the offense showed up. 12 different Blue Devils scored and contributed to that 87.
And boy, did we need this one. Yeah, great team effort. I could tell in the pregame that there was a sense of urgency from the seniors. That was very high energy. Everybody was really pumped. And, you know, as you know better than anybody, we've really been having it handed to us the last couple of games. So we had to take it out somewhere, and we took it out tonight. You know, we got great contributions from Terrence. Terrence hitting those threes was huge. Dada back to his old self. You know, if those two could do that consistently together every night, we'd be the team we're supposed to be. Absolutely, and that's, of course, been the offensive production you've been looking for from this team that you knew they were capable of. You know, Bill Thomas used a phrase a moment ago, and I think it's sort of apt. You had this situation because of where you landed. You were the 25 seed by power rating, and you almost had to win your 25th seed back in this play-in round. That's a difficult situation to be in, and certainly to get this kind of production, it's a statement. Your team wanted to be there, felt like they deserved to be in the postseason, despite how they played second half of the year, and they were able to do it tonight. Absolutely, and this kind of game at home is a huge boost for our confidence. And now we go into Wakefield in 48 hours, who's very good. They've only lost 2 games, but we know them, we know their personnel, we know the league they play in. We can play with these teams. So this is exactly what we needed, and I like our chances on Friday. The Middlesex League is a great fit. It's very similar to the Midwatch League in a lot of ways. Large schools and small schools, very different types of schools, and they sort of intermix with one another by rivalry. And of course, this will be a fun contest. Big building out there, expecting a big crowd, big basketball community. So it should be a fun night down there. It's going to be great. It's going to be electric, and it's what high school playoffs is all about. You know, we'll be doing our darndest to be there, Coach. Awesome. Great. Thank you. Best of luck to you. We will see you hopefully on Friday night. Leominster head coach Kevin Crutchfield here at our courtside broadcast position after an 87-35 win tonight. And, Coach, you're on your way home. Yes, go see the fam. And I'll see the fam in a few minutes. Indeed. See you guys. Get you on your way. Thanks, right, Coach, so much. As we continue here on RFM, Leominster is a winner tonight, and that is what they have sorely waited to hear for a number of weeks. Bill Thomas will join me back up here for a final word as we wrap things up here courtside on RFM. Get his final thoughts on this one tonight as Leominster picks up the 87-35 win. And Bill Thomas got a chance to hear what Coach Kevin Crutchfield had to say after this one, and they had to have it. They had to have the win to keep going. You win, you advance. That part is obvious.
But I think they had to have it to remind themselves that they're a much better basketball team than they have displayed in months. That's my fault. Go ahead.
You want me to come up here?
I know, and then I forgot to turn your mic on.
I think they show what they're capable of tonight. They have the outside shooting, they have the offensive rebounding, but they haven't been able to put it together. One shooter's on, one shooter's off. A rebound is getting position, but the other three are, lost under the basket sometimes. So to see them put it together a game like that tonight is, I think, a great start for them for this tournament, because they have struggled. It's documented. 2-5 their last 7, and just having trouble. This might have been the highest point total of the year. I didn't look at it as far as all their wins, but it's got to be right up there with the highest point total. And it's just great to see the shooters shooting, the rebounders rebounding. Michael Halstead, I mentioned, looks like he got a starting job back and really steadies the offense, I think, running the point. Jack's got a little bit to learn. He's going to be taking over next year probably. But, it was just a great performance from top to bottom, from the number one kid on the bench to, who's ever in charge of the water jugs at the end. Everybody did what they had to do tonight to set them up to get into the next round.
Previous high for Leominster was February 6th at St. Paul, a 73-54 win.
So that was a pretty easy guess. I didn't think they were in the 80s.
Not even close.
But, the shooting prevailed tonight. Terrence, I think, 7 3-pointers, and I'm not sure what Justin had, but
with Kate out, we're gonna cheat over the shoulder.
26 points each, and
pair of 26s for McCormick and Dada.
And when the shooters are shooting, it makes everybody else's job easier.
7 threes for McCormick is where he finished. He had just a 2-pointer in the fourth quarter to make it to 26.
Just a 2.
Just a 2 to throw the cap on.
He must have stepped on the line
of that one.
But the other thing I liked about the Blue Devils tonight was the way they were running the break. They were looking to push the ball up the court, and people were filling the lanes, and second, third pass was where the success was coming from.
And this is not the first time this year where they've played a team that on paper, despite the 10-10 record, that they were, in theory, better than across the board, top to bottom, when you match up the best 5 against the best 5. But this is the first time, I feel like, this year where they won in decisive fashion, which they absolutely had to do.
Right, and a game that I think everybody expected to win on paper. You would think, the comparisons would be that they would roll, and tonight they did. They did what they had to do. They can go into the Friday night's game with some confidence. The shooters, have that shooter's touch, and you'd hate to win a game but have your shooters come off a bad shooting night and have that, still playing on their minds going into, a game against an 18-2 team that who knows what we're going to see from them. But I think it was just a great confidence builder tonight. The shooters were hitting their shots. The rebounders were getting their rebounds offensively. Definitely dominated the offensive boards, and I think that was the key to success. Got them off on the right foot, and then it just snowballed downhill.
You heard us mention it with Coach Kevin Grutchfield. We hope to be at Wakefield on Friday night. Just got to make the arrangements there. So
what's the weather?
I suppose. Well, there's that.
The weather.
You got a weather component going in there. You've got. Of course, we've got to get in touch with the athletic department down there. So a lot of dots have got to be set up here and crossed and connected. But if we can do it, we're going to do everything we possibly can here on RFM to go down for this 8:25 matchup. Which, I mean, Coach Crutchfield is not one to pump the tires of a contest. He believes this is going to be an electric atmosphere. We want to have that action for you here on RFM.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. I hope the I's can get dotted, the T's can get crossed, and they can find a space. We're not looking for press box space. We create our own press box, but a little cooperation goes a long way, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they have to offer in Wakefield.
Indeed, we will. Leominster a winner tonight, 87-35. The final score. Blue Devils are the 25th seed. They have advanced on. They will play the 8th seed Wakefield Memorial in Wakefield on Friday night at 7 o'clock.
I got to drop in one last
comment. Go ahead, Bill Thomas.
While you were talking to Coach, I was joking with some of the players down here, and Cyrus Lopez and Ricky Incasio was sitting down there, and I walked up to Cyrus and goes, "So we got to drink water to Lopez." They started laughing, and but they had a great time tonight, and you can see they were having fun out there in the court.
And that is the most important part of all of this, if you were to put it into larger context. A great job tonight. We thank you so very much for being a part of our night here on RFM and being a part of our family over the last couple of hours. For Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins, I am Todd Robbins, saying thank you so very much for joining us. And until Friday night, fingers crossed, when we will have Leominster and Wakefield for you here on RFM, we say so long, everybody.